Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany. So this is my very first video for 2024, and I want to wish you a happy new year. I hope 2024 is an amazing, happy, positive year for you and your loved ones. So I have got a very interesting video for you today. I am going to be comparing quality of life in New Zealand versus Germany. As a New Zealander living in Germany, I sometimes think to myself, what would life be like in New Zealand? Would my life be better? Would I have a higher quality of life than I do here in Germany? I'm married to a German citizen. We have 3 multicultural children, and we have built a beautiful life for ourselves here in Germany, and we are very happy here. Quite often when a German finds out I'm a New Zealander living in Germany, they will be really surprised, and they'll say to me, why would you choose to live in Germany when you have the choice to live in New Zealand, a beautiful paradise like New Zealand? The truth is, I love both countries so much, and I feel very privileged to be able to choose between Germany and New Zealand. Right now we live in Germany and we are very happy here, and there are quite a few reasons as to why we've decided to live in Germany over New Zealand. Doesn't mean I don't love New Zealand, but Germany's a really great fit for us at this stage of our lives. And I thought it would just be interesting to do a little bit of comparison between the quality of life in Germany versus New Zealand. In this video, I'm going to be pushing aside all of the personal and emotional aspects of the situation, and I'm just going to be focusing on facts and statistics. And I think by doing this, it can really put things into perspective. So years ago, I was actually doing some research for a video, and I stumbled across this incredible website called ifitweremyhome.com. And this website lets you compare life quality between basically every country imaginable. So this information is compiled from a range of official studies and statistics, and all of this information comes from credible sources. So I've chosen to compare the quality of life between Germany and New Zealand, but you can choose any 2 countries you wish. So I made a video like this many years ago using the information provided on this website, and many of you really enjoyed it. And so I thought I'd do an update because a lot has happened in that time. Since I made that video, we have been through a global pandemic, change in government, inflation. There are so many things that have changed since I made that last comparison video, and the information on this website is constantly changing and updating. So I'm going to be looking down at the information here. This is the first time I have seen the updated version of this comparison, so it's going to be really interesting for me. Obviously this comparison is made per capita, so New Zealand is a country of around 5 million compared to Germany, a country of over 80 million. If New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would be 2.5 times more likely to be in prison. And then it goes on to say 192 in every 100,000 people are currently imprisonated in New Zealand compared to 76 in Germany. So I find this really interesting, but at the same time it's hard to compare because I don't know whether these statistics are because the justice system in New Zealand is stricter than in Germany, or whether the crime rate is higher. It doesn't really say. So with just these facts alone, it's really hard to compare because every country has a different justice system and different laws and different regulations. But one thing I can say is that I feel very safe living in Germany, and I do feel like the crime rate here is relatively low, at least in the area of Germany where I live. I would feel safe walking around the streets at night here as a female. My children walk to the school bus on their own, and I am not worried that something's going to happen to them. I even would feel okay about leaving my house unlocked, and I wouldn't be worried somebody would burgle my house. I don't know if I would feel the same way in New Zealand. The last time I was in New Zealand, I definitely didn't have that same feeling of safety as I do here in Germany. When my mum was staying with us here in Germany, she would often comment on how safe she felt here. She also commented on the fact that she hardly ever saw any police or police vehicles around, and this is not the case in New Zealand. Okay, so next up, if New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would have 21.19% less free time. Employed persons in New Zealand work an average of 1,760 hours each year, while persons in Germany work an average of 1,387 hours. So in New Zealand, you are entitled to a minimum of 20 hours fully paid annual leave per year, but this is only if you have been working continuously in a job for 12 months or more. So in Germany, you are also entitled to a minimum of 20 days fully paid annual leave per year, except most companies in Germany will give their employees longer than that. You will most likely get around 5 to 6 weeks of fully paid annual leave per year. In New Zealand, there are 11 fully paid public holidays per year on top of the annual leave. In Germany, the public holidays vary between states. So in the state of Bavaria, where I live, we have 13 days of annual leave per year, which is the highest nationwide. So most states in Germany have only 9 days of annual leave per year, and it also depends on whether these days fall on a weekend. We had a lot of public holidays fall on a weekend last year, and so you don't get paid for that. It's just a regular weekend where everything is closed. New Zealand and Germany both have it pretty good when it comes down to annual leave and the amount of time you get off. There are other factors such as maternity and paternity leave. It is pretty damn good here in Germany. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but when I really think about it, parental leave is not considered free time, so it doesn't really come into the equation at all. So next up, if New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would be 14% more likely to be unemployed. So New Zealand has an unemployment rate of 5.70%, while Germany has a 5% unemployment rate. This may have something to do with the fact that, Germany is a country booming with industry, and so there are a lot of available jobs here in Germany, and in New Zealand we just don't have the job positions that are available here in Germany, and so I think that may have something to do with, the lower employment rate in New Zealand. I'm not 100% sure. I will need to do a little bit more research on this one. Okay, so next up, if New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would make 23.4% less money. So the GDP per capita in New Zealand is 30,400,000, while in Germany it is 39,500,000. So this is basically the value of a country's economy, and Germany obviously has a stronger economy than New Zealand. So $1 New Zealand dollar is equivalent to around 57 German cents. So the economy in Germany is obviously much stronger than the economy in New Zealand, which is why New Zealanders earn less money. Also, just the general cost of living in New Zealand is very, very high, especially when you compare it with what the average New Zealander earns and how much they have to pay for food and electricity and their mortgage or rent. But I have to say the cost of living here in Germany is becoming increasingly higher, and I would say the price of food right now in Germany is pretty much on par with New Zealand. This is crazy to me because I always considered grocery shopping in Germany to be very inexpensive compared to New Zealand, but not anymore. Okay, so next up, if New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would experience 34.7% more of a class divide. This doesn't surprise me at all. I feel as though in New Zealand there is a huge gap between the rich and the poor, and I noticed this particularly when I was last in New Zealand, more so than ever, more so than when I was growing up in New Zealand. Overall, the wealthiest 10% of New Zealanders have 59% of all the country's assets. The middle class has around 39%, and that leaves the poorest half of New Zealand with just 2% of the country's assets. So here in Germany, I couldn't find a good comparison as far as statistics, but I know that 60% of people here in Germany describe themselves as middle class, and I just don't see so much of a class divide as far as, how people are living, like their lifestyles. Of course, there are the super rich in Germany and the poor and sort of the middle class, so to say, but I think the social system here in Germany really helps, free universal healthcare, free education, education and the support you receive from the government in general. I think that really plays a huge role in, you know, the lesser class divide. But then on the other hand, when you look at the three-stream school system here in Germany and how just the whole school system is set up, when you look at that aspect, you could argue that there is a very obvious class divide here in Germany, but statistically, Germany has a lower class divide than New Zealand. Okay, next one is pretty horrific actually. If New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would be 42.86% more likely to be murdered. 1 in every 100,000 people are murdered annually in New Zealand compared to 0.70 in Germany. This surprises me, horrifies me actually. Don't know why this is. Obviously the crime rate in New Zealand is higher than in Germany, and as I said, I feel safer in Germany than I do in New Zealand in general, and I think these type of statistics reflect that. Okay, so there's 3 more points. I am running out of time here, so I'm going to move a little bit faster through this. So if New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would live 0.49 years longer. The life expectancy at birth in New Zealand is 80.93, while in Germany it is 80.44. So that is a positive. In New Zealand, people seem to live a little bit longer. Not much longer, but they do in general live a little bit longer. I don't know why this is. I'd like to do a little bit more research and find out why, but that is a really positive statistic for New Zealand. So yeah, that's great. If New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would be equally likely to have HIV/AIDS. The percentage of adults living with HIV/AIDS in New Zealand is 0.10%, while in Germany it is 0.10%. 100 people in New Zealand and 1,000 people in Germany die from AIDS each year. So I think that is all relevant to capita. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about that statistic. If New Zealand were your home instead of Germany, you would have 59.14% more babies. The annual number of births per 1,000 people in New Zealand is 13.40, while in Germany it is 8.42. Doesn't surprise me at all. New Zealanders tend to have much bigger families. I could make a whole video as to why this is, but these are the statistics. You know, New Zealanders have more kids in general. So anyway, I am going to wrap this video up here. I found these statistics fascinating, very, very eye-opening, and I feel very confident and happy with my decision to live in Germany. Doesn't mean to say I don't love New Zealand, but reading facts like this, having like straight up statistics like this in front of me really does put things into perspective for me. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you genuinely enjoy my content, I would love you to consider subscribing. I had a goal by the end of last year. I wanted to reach 60,000 subscribers. I didn't make it. I'm very close to getting there, so I really hope you can help me out. Also, feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!